On the stillest nights between Christmas and New Year's, Liora, the celestial caretaker of the sky, she polishes and releases stars that carry the hopes, the dreams, and the wishes of the world. She releases them into the sky to shine brightly down on the world below. I hope you enjoy this story. I hope you all have the most wonderful year ahead. Make it so. Give your heart peace, do things that bring you joy, turn off the news, and just try to be more present. And yeah, I'm so happy that I can be on this journey with you. Thank you for supporting me along the way. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment. Let me know if you have plans for New Year's Eve, or if you're like me and you just like to hang out at home. All right, everyone, Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2025. The days between Christmas and New Year's were a time of quiet magic, though few ever knew the truth of it. High above the frost-tipped forest and snow-covered hills, beyond the reach of the tallest trees, there lived a quiet caretaker of the winter sky. Her name was Liora, and she was as much a part of the season as the stars themselves. Liora had a presence that felt timeless. Her long silver hair cascaded in gentle waves down her back, shimmering like moonlight on fresh snow. Her eyes were a soft, glowing amber, as if they held the warmth of a winter's hearth. She wore a cloak the color of twilight, woven with threads of midnight blue and adorned with tiny beads that sparkled like constellations. Beneath it, her movements were fluid and purposeful, as though she glided rather than walked. Her task was a sacred one, though she performed it without ceremony. Each year, on the night of Christmas, she would ascend to her celestial workshop, a vast domed observatory perched on the edge of the world. This space was open to the heavens, its glass ceiling revealing an unbroken view of the star-studded expanse above. Here, Liora attended to the stars that appeared only during this fleeting, magical week. These were no ordinary stars. They were wish stars, each one carrying the quiet hopes and whispered dreams of those yearning for a fresh start in the coming year. With gentle hands, Liora worked. She polished each star until it gleamed like a drop of molten silver. Using a brush spun from clouds and a solution made of morning frost, she cradled each star as if it were fragile, her touch careful and reverent. As she worked, she whispered to them, her voice soft as falling snow. "You carry someone's hope," she would say. "Shine brightly for them." But Leora's work went beyond polishing. She could feel the weight of the wishes within each star, and she gently aligned them in the sky, placing them just so. A star for courage might rest above a quiet mountain town, its light steady and unwavering. A star for healing would glimmer faintly at first, growing brighter with each passing night. Each placement required care and intuition, for Liora understood that the wishes of the world needed to be nurtured, not rushed. Leora's work was lonely, though she found companionship in the stars themselves. Each one seemed to twinkle softly in her presence, as if thanking her for her care. Sometimes, when the nights were especially clear, she would pause to admire her handiwork, letting the beauty of her celestial garden fill her with quiet pride. The stars danced in the crisp winter air, their light spilling over the earth like a gentle promise. Leora's dedication came from a place deep within her heart. She had been a keeper of the winter sky for as long as she could remember, though she suspected she had once been like the people who sent their wishes into the night. Perhaps she too had longed for a new beginning, and the stars had granted her one. She never dwelled on the past, choosing instead to focus on the present, on the quiet magic she could bring to others. In the stillness, Liora floated near a cluster of unpolished stars, their surfaces shimmering faintly, dim with the weight of unspoken wishes. Despite the serenity of her task, a pang of loneliness crept into her heart. And though the stars themselves were company of sorts, they could not offer her the warmth of companionship. That evening, as she swept her hand through the star-laden ether, she paused and looked down toward the sleeping earth. Her gaze softened, settling on a small cabin nestled in a snowy forest. Inside, a solitary figure sat by a fire, their face illuminated by its golden glow. She saw Emily, a writer who had spent the better part of the year searching for inspiration. Her hands rested idly on the pages of her journal, where only a few lines had been scribbled. Emily's heart, however, was far from idle. It was full of wishes for a renewed sense of purpose, for healing after a difficult year, and for a way to connect with the world beyond the cozy walls of solitude. Liora smiled faintly and whispered into the night wind, A gentle silver thread of light drifted down from the sky through the cabin window and encircled Emily. Startled, Emily sat up, the journal slipping from her lap. Believing this must be a dream, she felt a pull, light and warm, lifting her from her chair. Moments later, Emily found herself standing in a vast, shimmering expanse of stars. The sky stretched endlessly around her, its hues of deep indigo and silver twinkling in a quiet dance. She turned and saw Liora, her luminous form both otherworldly and comforting. "Emily," Liora said, her voice as soft as a melody, "I have chosen you to help me with a task that bridges the hearts of many. You understand the weight of wishes and the longing for something new. Will you join me?" Emily, though overwhelmed, nodded. I don't know how I can help, but I'll try." Liora extended her hand, and in it appeared a silver brush, soft and shimmering like moonlight. "We polish the stars first," Liora explained. "Each one carries a wish, and our care helps it shine its brightest before it joins the sky." Emily hesitated, then took the brush. Liora guided her to a nearby cluster of stars. They hung in the air, their faint glows flickering like distant candles. Liora reached out and gently cradled one in her hands, her movements delicate, almost reverent. Emily mirrored her, lifting a small star. It was warm, pulsing faintly, as if alive. As Emily polished the star, its light grew steadier, glowing brighter with each stroke. She felt a whisper of something: hope, joy, a tiny piece of someone's dream. It made her chest tighten with wonder. "What happens after we polish them?" Emily asked, her voice hushed. "Well, they must be hung in the sky," Liora replied, gesturing toward a silver ladder that appeared, stretching endlessly upward. When released, they join the constellations, spreading their light across the world. Emily followed Liora to the ladder. Together they climbed, the stars cradled in their hands. At the top, Liora showed Emily how to gently toss the stars into the heavens. Each one floated into place, joining the night sky with a soft twinkle. As Emily released her first star, a sense of awe washed over her. It wasn't just a task. It was a gift, connecting her to countless hearts below. For the first time in a long while, Emily felt a sense of belonging. not only to the sky, but to the wishes of the world. Thank you for choosing me, Emily whispered to Liora, her eyes shining with unshed tears. Liora smiled softly. Sometimes, even the stars need someone who understands the wishes they carry. And together, they worked, lighting the sky with hope for a better year ahead. The hours passed in a quiet rhythm, marked only by the soft hum of the stars being polished and sent into the heavens. Emily and Liora worked side by side, their task both meditative and deeply fulfilling. Emily had grown comfortable with the process. Her hands moved steadily, her brush gliding over the warm, pulsing light of each star. As the final cluster of stars waited to be placed in the sky, Liora paused, her luminous eyes fixed on Emily. "You've done beautifully," she said softly. "The sky is nearly complete, and it shines brighter because of your care." Emily smiled, her cheeks flushed from both the effort and the quiet pride of contributing to something so extraordinary. She glanced around the celestial space, now emptier without the sea of unpolished stars. "Is this the end of the task?" she asked, a tinge of reluctance in her voice. "It's the end for this year," Liora replied. "But the stars will return, as they always do, carrying new wishes and dreams." Emily nodded, though the thought of returning to her ordinary life felt bittersweet. For the first time in months, she felt alive with purpose, connected to something far greater than herself. Liora gestured toward the final ladder. This one was grander, adorned with silver filigree that caught the starlight. "Come," she said, "we'll place the last stars together." The two ascended, their hands cradling the brightest of the stars. As they reached the top, Emily noticed that the heavens above them were now a symphony of light. Constellations woven with delicate threads of hope, wishes glowing like beacons in the infinite night. Liora took the first star and released it, watching as it floated into place and settled into the tapestry. Then she turned to Emily, who held her final star close, hesitating. "What's wrong?" Liora asked gently. Emily looked down at the stars in her hands. "This one feels special," she murmured. "It's as if it's asking me to hold on to it just a little longer." Liora tilted her head, her serene expression softening. "Each star carries a part of someone's heart," she explained. "Perhaps this one feels familiar because it's yours." Emily's breath caught, She looked at the star again, its warmth now unmistakable. She thought of her own wishes, how she had longed for clarity, for purpose, for a way to find beauty in the world again. A tear slipped down her cheek, but it wasn't sadness that she felt. It was gratitude. With trembling hands, Emily raised the star and released it into the sky. It floated upward, its light growing until it joined the constellation, brighter than all the rest. She watched, her heart full as it settled into its place among the heavens. The moment lingered in silence, broken only by Leora's soft voice. "Look," she said, gesturing toward the earth below. Emily turned. The world stretched out beneath them, blanketed in snow and shadow, but now it seemed to glow faintly. The wishes of the stars cast a soft radiance over the sleeping cities, forests, and seas. It was a light of hope, gentle yet powerful, as if promising that no matter the hardships of the past year, new beginnings awaited. As the clock struck midnight on earth, the heavens shimmered with renewed brilliance, the stars twinkling in a joyous crescendo. Emily felt the beauty of the moment ripple through her, filling her with an undeniable sense of peace. Liora placed a hand on Emily's shoulder. "This is why we do what we do," she said, "to remind the world that even in the darkest nights, light will always return." Emily nodded, her chest swelling with gratitude. She turned to Liora, her voice steady now. "Thank you for showing me this, for letting me be a part of it." "It's you who brought the stars to life," Liora replied, with a knowing smile. Moments later, Emily found herself standing back in her cabin. The fire had burned low, its embers casting a warm glow. She stepped outside onto the porch, her breath visible in the crisp winter air. Above her, the sky sparkled with a brilliance she had never noticed before. She wrapped her arms around herself, gazing upward with a sense of wonder. Each star felt like a promise, a reminder of the wishes she had polished and released, not just for others, but for herself as well. As the first dawn of the new year began to creep over the horizon, Emily felt something shift within her. It wasn't just a new day or a new year. It was a fresh start, filled with the beauty and promise of everything yet to come.